What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a special World Cup Bros Talking Soccer podcast episode. My name is Dave Knittel, here with you as always. Got my brother Matt here as well, and we have our friend Dalu joining us as well. Dalu, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good today. I'm really excited because of the game I just watched. It's been awesome.
Yeah, yes. Today has been awesome. All the games have been fantastic. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I think you're down in Georgia right now.
Yeah. So I go to school in Georgia Southern. My name is Dalu, and I'm a huge Arsenal supporter and also Atlanta United supporter.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, that's been and, okay. I'm a geology major,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love soccer. That's a lot.
All right. All right. We love soccer too, Matt. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Dave. I'm so excited to talk about these games. Great day of soccer.
Absolutely. And so, I am as well. I got up at 4:45 this morning because I'm out west, and no regrets whatsoever. I am so freaking pumped. So let's get right to the game. So first up, we had Egypt versus Uruguay. For those who don't know, that match ended 1-0 to Uruguay. Last kind of minute header going on there. Dalu, let's go to you first. What were your thoughts on that game? Did you happen to see it? Do you have any thoughts there?
Yeah, I really thought Egypt would have had a better showing because like Uruguay, I noticed they had like a disconnect between the midfield and the attack. So I really felt Egypt could have put on Salah at some point. I was really hoping to see him at some point to like take advantage of that. Because like Luis Suarez really, really lost in that game for a long while. Like he wasn't really active before the second half. So I was really hoping like Egypt could have taken advantage of that because I was rooting for them, honestly. To
You were
score
rooting
one
for
goal.
Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you thought Salah should have come in. When should he have come on for you in the second half?
Like when they noticed that, because if you know at some point Uruguay, because they started off the second half pretty well, but they sat back a little bit, and then Egypt took looked to take control of the game, and they really needed like a real outlet. Trezeguet did pretty good though, but I don't think he has that killer instinct for me like Trezeguet, the
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian striker.
Yep.
Yeah, they really needed a goal scoring like a goal scorer in the box for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was my points from my notes. I thought Egypt looked really good up until the final third, and then they just didn't know what to do. Matt.
I think they kept falling for the trap because if you notice towards the end, Uruguay saw like they couldn't break Egypt down, so they knew it was going to be a set piece. So they kept drawing fouls, and Egypt kept falling for that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So they left off there. But Matt, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so originally in the first half, while watching, I ended up texting my brother saying, like, I was feeling nervous about my Uruguay going to the semifinals pick. Their midfield was so strange in the way they were playing. They were
very
taking six touches in the midfield and just turning the ball over. And luckily, Egypt didn't have Mo Salah in the attacking third and couldn't really generate an opportunity. The big thing for Egypt was, I guess, getting a hold of that opportunity. I thought they defended really well. The goalie that is on his fourth cap. I think everyone keeps bringing that up, but he had an incredible game. It's unfortunate to see that late header go in, but I think it was a solid showing for Egypt without Mo Salah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And like,
absolutely. Go ahead, Dalu.
what's up with like Suarez? He looks really off his game today,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, so yeah, I had that Cavani and Suarez. Cavani, I think, grew into the game a bit more in the initial stages. I noticed Cavani had a couple of just misplaced passes. Suarez just didn't look right the entire game. I don't know if he's feeling pressure because he feels like it's the world stage or whatnot, or if he's tired from a season at Barcelona. But he just didn't look right for me. He didn't make the right decisions, especially on that last chance when he was 1-on-1 with the keeper and he chose to take an extra touch to try to go around the keeper.
yeah,
I thought that was the bad move. Matt, thoughts?
yeah. I think he was. I don't know if he thought Egypt was somewhat below them because like Uruguay, they came in second in South American qualifying. Like this is a team that should be up there with the best teams in the world and how they performed, um, and just it seemed like Suarez was just like going through the motions and wasn't really
Yeah,
trying.
I
And
have
like
them going
yeah,
far.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they're going far in the tournament because I think they really because they have a really good defense like Uruguay.
yeah, yeah. That's
They
another
have
thing I wanted to say. Godin, that was that was one of the best tackling performances I've ever seen. Like every time the ball just came a little bit in his area, the ball just he's got it right away.
Yeah, he was Uruguay's best player by far. I do want to shout out Egypt. I thought they played incredibly well. They were super compact defensively, really organized. and Uruguay just couldn't break them down. And like Dalu, you were saying, I mean, they were just playing for set pieces because they knew they couldn't break them down. I want to go back to the point you brought up earlier about Salah. So I was arguing on Twitter today. I actually was fine with them not bringing on Salah. So for me, and this is something I want to get your guys' points on, for me, Egypt advancing out of their group was not about them winning this game. It's about them beating Russia and Saudi Arabia in the next two matches. And so for me, I was fine with Salah being rested so that he can be, at least in better health moving on. What do you think about that?
Because before the game, that would have been okay. But like when they noticed that they had a chance of winning, actually, because I felt they had a chance of winning as the game grew on. I felt they could have. But the thing is that like the kind of players Diego Godin and the kind of players Uruguay have in the defense, they're really like physical. So maybe putting Salah on there might be a risk, considering Diego Godin might target his elbow, like the commentator pointed out. So it might have been a risk. So you might be right in a way, because you want him to get all healed up. You don't want to take that risk, because if you lose him, you lose him for the entire tournament. So that would have been terrible.
Matt, your thoughts there on?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a shame to see Egypt playing without Mo Salah in the World Cup, and like as a fan's perspective, you want to see him in the game, but these aren't the points that Egypt probably thought they were going to get in the tournament. Like you were saying, like Russia and Saudi Arabia are the more realistic games they need to perform at. But like Dalu was saying, I think at some point in the game, when you realize you can snatch those points from Uruguay, you might consider it. I'm not saying like they made a right or wrong decision, because they played so well up until the last minute for set piece. So it's not like they weren't in a position to get points. It was the last minute where they gave up the points. So I think I would be fine with them resting Salah.
Yeah, but then they lost the game though. So that was...
yeah.
In hindsight, in hindsight, it's easy to say they probably made the wrong decision. But for me, I was okay with it in the moment, because again, I think they were playing so well, and that everything basically went according to plan, except for the very end of the game. And that's the last thing I want to touch on here. And we saw this in every single game today. This is something that drives me absolutely crazy about professionals not understanding context and giving away unnecessary fouls in dangerous spots. We saw in every single game, and it having consequences in every single game. So in the Egypt game, unnecessary foul committed in the corner. The guy's going nowhere. There's no reason to rush in there. Uruguay earns a free kick and then plays it into the box. That's how they score in the 89th minute. So, Matt, did you have thoughts on that play, or do you have anything to say on this?
Yeah, I mean, you say this all the time. It makes no sense when players are in a position, like a non-threatening position. There's no point in fouling, and especially professional set pieces. Like they're so good at converting those. The Spain game, that set piece towards the end of the game, Iran game towards the end of the game, they all happen from set piece. Oh, that's what happened all at the end of the game. Unnecessary fouls, and it's just stupid to commit.
Dalu?
Yeah, exactly. Like today, I kept screaming, "Don't foul him! Don't foul him!" Because I was so mad. Because if you watch the Iran game, like the Iran game, like that was the exact same thing they did. They kept looking for fouls at the end, like to place that like free kicks in, and the Saudi Arabia, the Morocco players kept falling for that every single time. And then I had really high hopes for Morocco, because I think they do have good players on there, but they really kind of disappointed me today in a way.
Oh. Yeah. So
that game.
Are we going to talk about that game next?
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that next. So believe me, I have a lot to say on that as well. Before we go on, anything else, Matt, you wanted to say about Egypt, Uruguay?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how Uruguay comes back against Russia and Saudi Arabia.
Uruguay or Egypt?
Or Uruguay, and just see if how they look so disconnected in the first half, and see if they start looking, like the dominant force they should be in this group.
They have a history of growing into competitions though. So
yeah.
Expect better. But
that's a good point.
I really want to see Egypt versus Russia.
Yeah, and that's the next game. When is that? Wednesday, I want to say. Is that the next time? They play sometime next week. They'll be playing, and I'm really looking forward to that. Dalu, anything else to add on Egypt versus Uruguay?
Well, not really. We
okay. All right, cool. I think so as well.
Um,
It is a heartbreaking loss for Egypt, but I still think they're in okay position. That's just the last thing I wanted to say. Let's talk about Morocco, Iran. For those who don't know, that ended 1-0 as well. Last second free kick ended with a header, but it happened to be an own goal, and Iran prevailed 1-0. So, Matt, your thoughts on this particular match?
Um, so the first thing I think I want to address is the concussion protocol for Moroccan team doctors.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it was insane.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I was watching that like on TV in 2018 where who was it? Amrabat or
Yeah, Amrabat.
he uh he was so clearly like concussed and the doctors just came over and just threw water in his face and were just like slapping him.
Why were
So
they
like just
slapping
like
him?
yeah, that was just like the first like the thing that threw me off the most today.
Well,
In a
it's
while actually.
yeah, and it started even before then with the players. I don't know what they were they like picked them up and were like almost trying to throw them. Like I don't know what the
I think
players were trying to do.
I think they were making sure like he wasn't like swallowing on his tongue or having a
Okay, is
seizure.
that what it was? But nobody
That's
was going like near his mouth. It just looked really weird from every
looks really
single way
weird.
you
Like,
look at it. Okay,
yeah.
Dalu, your thoughts on did you have thoughts on what was going on there?
I was really confused. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Like, someone just get him off the pitch. Honestly, he looks clearly concussed. I don't know. Like, I think they wanted to keep playing or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it looked absolutely crazy. So for me, in the match, I want to say I thought Morocco looked really good early on and just looked worse and worse as the game went on. So
The
before,
first 20 minutes,
what's that?
the first 20 minutes, they looked really good. I really had like high hopes for them, honestly.
Exactly. And so over the past few weeks on this podcast, I've been kind of trumping them up and getting really excited because I haven't even seen them play. But based on what I've been reading, I've been really excited about them. And then seeing them play, I was so hyped. Watching them play, I was like, all right, they're going to score a couple goals. They're going to make me look good. And then they just kept getting worse and worse. So I was really disappointed on kind of how the match went from their perspective. And I was really impressed with how defensively Iran just kept getting better and better, more defensively organized. And I thought they did a really good job of just shutting the game down from Morocco's attacking perspective. Dalu, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I feel like as the game grew on, like, and Morocco missed a couple of chances early on, like, Iran got used to their, like, they followed the same pattern. They never really switched it up. They kept doing the same thing. And I really expected, like, to change their approach, like, second half, but they kept doing the exact same thing. So it got kind of really predictable. And I think Morocco, like, Iran, like, kind of knew how to, like, hold them. And Hakim Ziyech kind of like expected really like more from him. I didn't really see him that much as the game grew on.
He did have that one really nice shot. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I expected more as well. I
There were so
also,
many bad passes in the game. There were so many bad passes. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you see that a lot of times with national teams because they're not club players, so that not everybody's on exactly the same wavelength. But I thought that they did a really interesting job of swarming with the press again pretty early on, but they seemed to tire. And also with Morocco, I thought they looked good in possession on certain instances, but when they turned the ball over, there were huge gaps for defenders
Yeah.
or for Iran to counter into. And I thought that Morocco's defenders were way too aggressive and just leaving these huge gaps. And I think a better team would have exploited those giant gaps. So,
I don't want to see them playing.
yeah, Matt.
Yeah. I think as the game grew on, like Morocco's attack just kind of got figured out. So it kind of got, and Iran's attack was almost non-existent. So the game just kind of got more and more boring as the game went on. For a game that ended in a 90th minute winner, it wasn't as exciting as it sounds from the headlines. So yeah, I don't think either team is going to fare well against the other two teams in their group.
And that
Yeah,
was,
but
go ahead, Dalu.
yeah, I want to like really see Portugal against a team like Iran that like defends a lot and like packs the bus basically. Because I noticed like Portugal, like whenever they have to control the game, they really depend on counter attacks a lot. So whenever they have to like control the game and like set the initiative, I don't always think they fare so well. I'm mostly judging by the Euros as well, even though they won the competition. Like whenever they had to like have possession and like play the ball, they don't always fare so well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so Iran will pack the ball, so Portugal have to come around and play like Spain, kind of. You
Uh,
know.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to try to follow all of that. I thought Morocco again, like I thought that they were doing a good job initially trying to play short balls and try to break around down, but eventually they just got fed up and were just trying to hit long, hopeful diagonals, and it just wasn't working out for them. And then getting late in the half, there really wasn't a rhythm in the second half. And then we talked about it earlier, but Godos, or Godosh, however you pronounce it, the Iran player, late in the match when the ball is played into the corner, he is looking for a foul the entire way. Everybody knows that he's looking for a
It was
foul.
so obvious.
Yeah, it was so obvious. And then the Morocco player just gave in to exactly what he was looking for. Dangerous free kick. And that's where the goal comes from, an own goal, unfortunately. So I'm so frustrated by players. Obviously, I feel a little bit bad for Morocco, but to another extent, I don't, because it's just so poor awareness from players on that front. So for me, it was really frustrating to watch that happen and to see that all play out. Matt, thoughts on that play?
Yeah, it's like Iran has anything from open play, especially like in the attacking third. There's no reason to. It's not like you were in danger of letting up a goal in that. There's no reason to win the ball back. It's what was it, the 93rd minute when the foul was committed, or
He's
something
going.
like that.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact, but he's going nowhere. Like that's the thing, you know.
Yeah, and it's not like they've been threatening the previous 92, 93 minutes. So it's like you're probably in a safe position if you just give him half a step.
Yeah. I was so disappointed, honestly.
Yeah, Dalu, anything else to add here?
Man, the games were so boring, so I was so glad to watch Spain versus Portugal. So.
All right, so that I think leads us into the last game, at least today, we wanted to review, which is Spain-Portugal. It just finished 3-3 for those who haven't seen it, and it was quite dramatic of a 3-3 game. So Dalu, your thoughts on the match?
Wow, okay, so I've had my recent doubts about Ronaldo in a little bit. I mean, I know he's an awesome player, but the deal is awesome, honestly. Spain played really well. Like Isco was amazing. Watching Isco
Yeah.
and even Iniesta.
Yep.
I think he should stay at Barcelona, honestly, because he was also amazing for real. Spain played so well. The only shocker was probably David De Gea. He had a stinker of a game, honestly. He did not have a good game.
Yeah.
And I don't think Piqué had such a good game as well. And also Spain was awesome. Portugal just hit him on the counter attack every time. So and they gave away needless. The penalty was really really funny because I felt Ronaldo wanted the penalty and he got the penalty. It was a clear penalty, but he wanted it.
Yeah, he
And
wanted to go. He wanted a reason to go down, and they gave him gave him
and
it.
the defender fell for it. It was. They keep doing that all the time. It's so obvious. He's won so many penalties the same way. For real.
So it's a skill to an extent, right? I mean, if he wins it the
It
same.
is. It's incredible. Neymar does almost the same thing. Just leave a leg and defenders fall for it, and it's a penalty. Yeah, I think Spain is incredible. I think they might go far in this tournament, honestly.
Yeah, even with the manager change led by Hierro. Shout out Raul. Raul, thank you for correcting me on that pronunciation. I was pronouncing it wrong yesterday, and he corrected me. Hierro is how you pronounce it. So thank you for that.
The team has a lot of great, strong personalities, so I don't think the manager change might affect them that much, honestly. But they probably shouldn't have taken out Diego Costa though.
Yeah, that may have been their downfall because they were dominating at that point. Matt, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, this was one of the best soccer matches I've ever seen in my life. The quality of players on the field and just their performances, the goals, everything, the tackling, all the way to the end, I think was great from the first minute all the way to the end. It started out with a goal. I think it was a penalty on Ronaldo. I don't think he dove or anything. I think it was pretty. And then the VAR. I haven't minded the VAR at all so far. I think we talked about that. Well, they've looked at it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But they haven't done the box. The center ref hasn't looked at it. They've gone and they've listened to the VAR officials and whatnot.
Yeah, so as of yet, it hasn't been a problem, which is something we were talking about before the tournament, and any concerns with that. So it's good to see that nothing so far has happened with that. And more with the match, I thought Portugal's I thought they were going to be a little bit more dangerous other than Ronaldo. Like I thought
Yeah,
a couple more of their players, like Bernardo Silva, was going to create a little bit more. Um,
yeah.
I thought
More
Quaresma when he
control.
came, yeah, I thought like Quaresma when he came in actually started doing some stuff, but he's always a complete wild
He's
card.
always going to do some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, he's the most complete wild card player in the tournament with some of the things he does. So um, Portugal, I'm not sure how far they'll go in the competition, but Ronaldo had an incredible game.
So
Yeah.
Dalu, for Matt brought up the VAR thing. So on Costa's first goal, so Spain's first goal, what did you
Yeah.
think of that collision with Pepe? Do you think it was a foul? Should they have gone to VAR? What do you think?
Well, okay. I think probably why they did not give the foul was that like after the foul, Costa still had a lot more to do. Honestly, that's probably why they give the goal. But it was a clear foul. I think it was a foul, honestly.
Should
But
they have
then
gone to VAR and overturned it?
didn't they used VAR, right? But they still like they gave it a go. Honestly, I didn't know how they did that because I thought it was gonna be cancelled.
So I
But
think what happened for those who may not know, I think what happened is the referee was consulting with the VAR official who's in that TV center,
yeah,
and I guess was advised that I guess he shouldn't look at the goal, or the VAR official said it was fine. So they consulted VAR, but the center official never went and looked at a replay. So that's what I think made it a little different. So what do you think?
yeah.
Should he have looked at the replay? Should they have overturned it?
Mm, it would have been sad if they did.
Yeah.
It would have been really sad. But it was a foul, honestly, because he seemed to nudge him a little bit, so it was a foul.
Okay, Matt, what about you? For you, should they have
So
overturned it?
I I somewhat agree that it was a foul, but to the overturning pot, like the standard of how to overturn, like the clear and conclusive, like I would have
Yeah,
called it if it was a foul,
yeah,
like originally, but like after the play went on, like, I don't think it had as much of an impact on the eventual goal.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he had
and
a
that,
lot more.
yeah, and that's exactly where I fall. I mean, I've said many times, I only want VAR to be used for like, hey, we got this way wrong. This I
Yeah,
agree was likely a foul, but the referee didn't call it. He clearly saw that there was contact. It wasn't something that he didn't see. He saw it. He made a judgment. He didn't call it. That's fine. I don't want to be looking at every single little incident. And so I thought the referees have been fantastic so far. So yeah, I'm 100% in agreement there. I think Matt, was it a penalty for you on Ronaldo?
the first penalty.
Yeah, well, the only
Okay,
penalty.
yeah. Well, I didn't know if you meant the last foul. Yeah, I think it was a penalty.
Okay, I think it was a penalty as well, even though it was a bit soft. But yeah, I think 100%. It was a penalty. Trying to look at my notes. Anything else really that? Oh, the free kick. So Spain's second goal, which was the free kick. I want to shout out Stu Holden, who was giving the commentary. He called that exactly what was going to happen, and then they went out and did it. So I thought that was just a
I,
really really well worked free kick. Dalu, what was that?
yeah, my friend was like, he's gonna score. He's gonna score. I was like, hell no, he hasn't scored a freaking this in so long. He's not gonna score. Then he scored. I was like, my mouth was open. I was like, what?
Are you talking about Ronaldo's free kick? I'm
Yeah.
talking about Spain. So right,
Oh,
so the goal before, but actually, yeah. So we might as well talk about the Ronaldo free kick because that's going to get all the headlines as well as it should. I
oh,
mean, you want to recap what happened there, Dalu?
okay. So like Ronaldo looks for the foul, and they give him the foul, and he scores the free kick. That's as simple as it is. Like they fell for the trap, and he made the most of it and got the free kick and scored it. I didn't think he was gonna score it, but he did. So kudos to him. It was incredible.
Yeah, I think it was literally shot for shot the Nike 2010 World Cup commercial, where it ends with Ronaldo backing up to take the free kick and running up, and that's where the commercial ends. And it literally just continued 8 years later. So I think that was incredible.
That is, yeah, that is pretty amazing. But Dalu, to your point, and it comes back to what we talked about before. It's giving away unnecessary fouls in dangerous areas. Gerard
Yeah.
Piqué is one of the most experienced defenders in the world. Why is he giving away an unnecessary foul like that? Ronaldo's got his back to goal. He's going nowhere. Just keep him that way. He's not doing anything. So to poke him or kick him in the back of the leg, give away that foul, and give him that opportunity. And I mean, just enormous credit to Ronaldo. I thought early on he was more involved with Portugal than we've seen him with Real Madrid. I thought he was more involved, and then he went kind of into his disappearing kind of phase as Spain really got into the match. But he popped up in important moments and got the goals, and that's kind of his game now. And it's truly incredible what he's evolved into. So incredible props to him, and incredible props for converting that free kick, because he has not been converting free kicks as much over the past few years. And so to do it at the World Cup, down a goal late in the match, that was just incredible. So yeah, it was incredible. Dalu, anything else to add here?
Like he made a mistake in the friendly game before the World Cup, and he did like another one today, like a total blunder, honestly.
That's a good point. Yeah, we kind of glossed over that. So Portugal's second goal was kind of somewhat of a broken play. The ball eventually fell to Ronaldo at the top of the box. He fired a hard shot low on the ground with his left foot. I mean, it was coming with some pace, but right at De Gea, and he just completely fumbled it into his own net. I mean, Matt, thoughts on that? Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, you would never expect that from David De Gea. He's one of the world's best. It's hard to blame a goalie, especially when like a Ronaldo shot from the top of the box. And it's just like hard.
You can blame him here.
Okay, yeah.
He should save that. Like I think it's worse than the second goal, Bale's second goal actually, because that was like mid-air, like that was Bale, and the shot looks really 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 good. So the second goal Karius conceded in the Champions League final.
Oh yeah.
This David De Gea's blunder. Which would you pick? Which is a bigger error?
Oh, De Gea's, I would say.
That was a ground ball. Who could just kick it away or something like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I mean, technically, his form was kind of okay with it. I mean, he had his body behind the ball and he had his leg out. I mean, he kind of did it the way keepers are supposed to save it, but he just didn't get his hands right. And it ended up creating this sort of like angle to bang off him and just roll into the net. So, you feel for him, but
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's hard to blame him because like it was such a weird way the ball bounced off him.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's generous not to blame him, but you can still feel sympathy for him while blaming him. I still feel sympathy for Karius, but you can still blame him for conceding those goals. To an extent.
Somebody should have closed down better. Always blame the person in front of you.
Yeah. So, Dalu, anything else to add on the matches from today before we talk about tomorrow's matches?
I honestly did not see Diego Costa being able to gel with this Spanish machine of a team, but he looks pretty good. Honestly, he looks awesome. Yeah, because he didn't do quite well in the last World Cup playing with the team and the tiki-taka style and everything. He looked off, but today he looked part of the team, so that's good.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I agree. That's the best I've seen him play in maybe like a year or two. So I was real surprised by him. And Isco's what was it, like a half volley or the strike that almost hit the line would have been one of the goals of the tournament. Like this game had excitement all over the place.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was incredible. I will say it was nice to see Spain's kind of tiki-taka kind of coming back. I think they had lost that or maybe not lost it, but we hadn't seen it quite to the extent that we saw it today. And they just looked dominant in possession. I thought I thought Portugal came out the stronger side for maybe the first 15 minutes, and then Spain really got a hold of the game really throughout the rest of the game. And Portugal hit them for 2 goals kind of against the run of play. But if Spain can keep playing that way, keep creating chances, I think that they'll be able to pick apart Iran and likely Morocco as well, and likely get out of this group. Matt?
So, just a quick question. What's the second tiebreaker after goal difference?
Goal scored.
Okay.
Head-to-head? Is that part of it?
Is it head-to-head? Well, they tied. I mean, for like Spain and Portugal.
It's goal scored.
It would be goal scored if they have the same goal. Okay.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure if it is head-to-head. Yeah, I think it's goals scored no matter what, but I could be wrong on that. We can double check on that and
goal difference is always first, right?
Yeah, goal difference is first, and then What's up, Dalu?
Yeah, I think I'm not quite sure actually. After what's next after goal difference?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure Fox or who's ever covering the World Cup, wherever you're watching, will let us know if it's needed. So we'll be following that. Now for tomorrow's matches, let's quickly just touch on them because we got 4 matches. I'm going to be up at 2:45 in the morning tomorrow, so I'm pumped. I'm excited. 4 games. The craziness that was today, I'm excited for even more craziness tomorrow. But real quick, it's France versus Australia is the first game, then Argentina, Iceland, Peru versus Denmark, and Croatia versus Nigeria. Let's talk about maybe the one you're most excited for. Dalu, I think you told us a little bit about your background, so I think I can guess which one you are, but you want to tell us?
Well, honestly, I really don't know what to think about my Nigerian team. I'm excited to see Iwobi, and I would really hope Iheanacho starts over Igalo because I don't really like Igalo that much. He was awesome. He was okay in the Premier League, but for some reason, I still prefer Iheanacho. If he can start, I think we might have a little bit of a chance because I'm really like, besides like all the shit going on in Croatia right now, I think they have a good team because I had like Modric is going through some like legal issues with some stuff with his agent and everything.
Yep.
But they have a good team. Their midfield is really strong, and oh my god, Perisic is really good. So I really cannot. I don't want to think of Perisic running at Balogun, the left back. That's gonna be horrible. Perisic is really good, and their defense is good. Their midfield is awesome. A lot of like eyebrows have been raised about their the striking, because no one knows if Mandzukic is gonna start or he's gonna like be on the bench. But I actually don't think he's their best striker. I think the other guy, Klasnik. I think Klasnik is probably gonna start with Perisic on the wing. I know who's on the right wing. I'm not sure who's on the right wing.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is Kolasinac isn't he an outside back? Isn't the striker the guy from no the guy from Newcastle? I think he was on loan down in the championship.
Mitrovic?
Yeah, Mitrovic. Isn't he the striker? Well, Kolasinac like an outside back, isn't he?
Klasnik. I think.
Klasnik. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mitrovic is for Serbia.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got him confused. Yes. He's Serbian. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad mistake for me to make.
Yeah.
Then Perisic is the left wing. I think they have a really good team. That's what I'm saying. They should be going far in tournament, in my opinion. And I think I predict they might finish above Argentina in the group.
I think I actually predicted that as well. I'm down on Argentina. Matt, your thoughts on tomorrow game or games you're looking forward to?
I could just run through it quick. All 4. France, I expect to bounce back after the whole USA performance. Last was it like our normal podcast when we talked about it. People were saying like, oh, I can't believe a team like France could let this happen, and they're down on them. But I don't think one performance is like before the World Cup is necessarily reflecting how well they're going to do. So I think they bounce back and get a win there. Next game's Argentina, Iceland, right?
Yep.
I have that game ending in a draw. I'm not big on Argentina, but I don't think Iceland can get it done in the attack to really like win the game. So I think that's going to be a low scoring, either 1-1, 0-0 draw. Because I do like,
Sorry.
Oh wait, Peru, Denmark. I was just saying like I like Iceland's defensive structure. Peru, Denmark. I think I have Denmark winning that game. I'm excited to see Eriksen and how Denmark does going forward through Eriksen. I'm really high on him. I think he's one of, the better midfielders in the world. If nobody's linked to Barcelona now, especially now they didn't get Griezmann. So it'll be exciting to see him at one of the best clubs in the world. Oh yeah, the Griezmann decision.
Side story here real quick. For those who aren't following the whole Griezmann or however you pronounce his name, he has been in this transfer struggle or whatever, rumored to be going to Barcelona. He kept it under speculation. He just kind of fueled all of the rumors and everything like that. And he said he would announce his decision before the World Cup started. Everybody assumed he was announcing that he would be leaving for Barcelona. At his official press conference, I want to say he announced that he would be announcing at another time. And so eventually it all came out that he's just staying at Atletico. And the whole situation was so weird. What's that?
Neymar to PSG 2.0.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and last game, Croatia, Nigeria. I think I have Croatia winning. I'm excited to see, Nigeria's creative players going for there. They have a bunch of Premier League players like Iheanacho. Now Iwobi gets a lot of time at Arsenal. Hopefully he can bring some creativity for Dalu.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I think I have Croatia topping this group.
I do as well. Dalu, any thoughts on the other three matches, real quick?
I think France is probably gonna win. They should win. Then I actually think Argentina might, just because of what Ronaldo did today. I think Messi might do something tomorrow. So I think Argentina might win that one. And for because I'm Nigerian, I'll go for Nigeria to win against Croatia. But if I'm being realistic, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay. And then Peru, Denmark.
Yeah, I think Denmark. They
Okay.
don't look that great, honestly. So, but I think Eriksen's a special player, so I think they might win that one actually.
Yep. And so
But
for me, I think France is clearly the favorite against Australia. I expect them to win kind of easily. Not to downplay Australia, and I'm sure they're going to fight hard, but I just see France putting it together and really getting things going there. I like Argentina to step up a lot of the same reasons as Dalu said. As much as Messi and Ronaldo try to downplay their rivalry, they try to one up each other. And so Messi kind of seeing that happen. I mean, I'm sure he was motivated anyways, but I just see him coming out and taking apart Iceland, as down as I am against Argentina. But that's more on the defensive side. Which I don't think Iceland really has an attack to really challenge them. From a Peru-Denmark thing, I've been reading and hearing a lot more about Peru and getting
me too.
excited about them. Guerrero up top, who was suspended. He's their captain, best player, but then he got his suspension revoked. So they just have a ton of positive momentum. I think that they might be able to carry that in and get a result against Denmark. I have Denmark winning that and coming out of the group in second place. But I can see Peru getting a result here. So I'm most excited for that match tomorrow because I think that's going to be the closest one. Croatia versus Nigeria is probably the second best match tomorrow. Like Dalu was saying, I think Nigeria has a lot of interesting pieces that I'm interested to see if they can break down Croatia and get after them, because I think Croatia has a lot of pedigree and has a lot of players on the European stage. But I think that, they have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, I think within their federation and with some of their players, like from a legal perspective, and see if they can be unsettled and kind of have Nigeria take advantage of that. So, that's what I'm looking for. Dalu,
Yeah,
something else to add?
I think Nigeria, because okay, you hear a lot of people saying, okay, Nigeria, they have Mikel Obi. He's really important in that midfield, but I really, really, really think he should not be starting. Honestly,
Really?
yeah, because he's kind of slow, and knowing Modric, Rakitic, Kovacic, they might destroy that. They might really, really, really control the midfield if he plays, because he's not even that physical. He's no longer as fast as he used to be. He's really slow, though he's just 31. But I think his like age kind of caught up to him pretty early. I think Ndidi, who plays for Leicester,
There
he
you
was
go.
incredible last season. He had the most tackles in the EPL. I think he should be starting with Onazi, and it will be probably not Mikel. Well, they're probably gonna start Mikel anyway.
So you're
'Cause-
you're closer to the situation. What I had heard and assumed was that Mikel would be started a little bit higher up the pitch, and Ndidi and maybe those other midfielders would be a little bit further back, and they would be kind of more matched up. Is that not what's happening?
Probably, but then he's not as creative as the coach seems to think he is, because he rarely ever does that much on the pitch anyway in the creative side of it. So besides moral support, I don't know what else he does, honestly. Because you watch the England match, he looked so like out of pace, like he was run over. And then I remember back in 2014 World Cup, the match against France, like he made Pogba look like Zinedine Zidane. And he looked so old and slow back then, and this was like 4 years ago, and now
Okay.
he's in China.
All right.
Like,
So that's definitely something we'll keep an eye on. So that's a good call out. That's cool. That's something we'll look out for, because that wasn't on my radar. So,
yeah,
that's yeah.
he was injured, so I hope he's back. He's fully fit now, like Ndidi. So I
Okay.
hope he's, yeah.
All right, we'll be looking out for that. Dalu, anything else to add about anything we've talked about here or World Cup?
Yeah, I hope Pavon starts for Argentina.
Okay.
Christian Pavon. He's a really exciting player and one you should look out for.
For Argentina, right? He's the winger, right?
Yeah, he's really good. And he knows how to link with Messi. I still don't support Icardi not coming for the World Cup, but they can still do something. I don't like you, Wayne.
Okay. All right. Matt, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Messi responds to, the Ronaldo game today.
Yes, so I am so freaking excited. Thank you all for being here. Dalu, thank you for being here and listening. Hopefully we'll get you on again sometime in the future. Matt, thank you for being here. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you for tuning in and listening. We also record this thing live on YouTube, so you can come hang out with us and interact with us. They'll be in the podcast show notes underneath the podcast. We record about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes after the last game ends for each day of the World Cup. So if you want to get in contact with us, our Twitter's at BT Soccer Pod. I'm tweeting a lot, live tweeting a lot of the matches going on there. If you want to also get in contact with us, our email is bros.talking.soccer@gmail.com. We have a website, brostalkingsoccerpodcast.com. You can read about us, check out past episodes, so much more. That's it, guys. Dalu, thank you so much for being here. We were happy to have you on. Good luck with Nigeria tomorrow.
Yeah. Good luck with your teams.
All right, thank you. Our team's not there, unfortunately, so we're just enjoying the World Cup. Matt, thank you for being here, and everyone tuning in, thank you so much, and we will talk to you tomorrow. See you, everybody.